I want to talk tonight about the Olympics, which is taking place in a year's time. And what we've done in Wiltshire is basically we created about 18 months ago Team Wiltshire. And Team Wiltshire is basically a team made up of the local authority working with all of the public services, particularly the police and all the emergency services that have worked very, very hard with the Olympics committee to actually look at how we can get the Olympics to come through Wiltshire and actually be part of our legacy for the future. What's happened is, you may all be aware, I hope, that last month it was announced that we had the first stage of the Olympic torch relay, and it was about the evening events. And I don't know if you're all aware, but Salisbury has been selected as one of the host towns for an Olympic evening event. That means that the torch will come into Wiltshire, it will come into Salisbury overnight, and it will go out of Wiltshire again en route to Weymouth, actually. What we don't know yet is how many times it's going to come into Wiltshire to get to Salisbury, and whether or not it may only be one hit coming through or two. But in November we will know the exact route, and we do know that it will have to come through Wiltshire to get to Salisbury. So what we know is that it presents a phenomenal opportunity for us, not just to showcase all our sports, all our interests in Wiltshire, but also our communities and actually our environment. So that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about tonight, and I hope it's something, forgive me, that is going to be about raising enthusiasm, about really, really getting all of our sports, our arts and our heritage together to actually say, this is what we can offer in Wiltshire. Because this event isn't just about a local event. This will be not just national television, it will be international and global coverage of what's going on. And what they have known in all the other countries where the Olympic torch has come in, pre the event happening, is that it brings communities together and it showcases that country like nothing else that they have ever had. The local Olympics committee, what they're looking at is they basically want to make sure that we have as many torchbearers as possible that really can tell a story about the place that they've come from. And one of the things they're looking at is that 50% of that they want to be young people. And I'm not sure if you're all aware at the moment about how much the Olympics should be impacting on everybody, right down to local level and particularly to children. And one of the things they're looking at is how do we get nominations for torchbearers. They're looking across the country for about 8,000 torchbearers. So if any of you, they've got key presenting partners, we call them sponsors, that's how I relate to it. But one of the sponsors is Coca-Cola. I don't know if any of you have bought Coca-Cola recently, but they're actually trying to get you to nominate people to be torchbearers. What the Olympics committee want is that if they come into Wiltshire and they go through any of the towns, and we'll know the route in November, they want to make sure that everybody that carries that torch on that route, and each person will carry it for a short distance, is that each of those people has a story to tell about why they've been selected as a runner. And they want to have that so that wherever they go in Wiltshire, they will actually be talking about that person or about that club. So the Otters, I'm assuming you will have nominated lots of your swimmers to actually be put forward to maybe carry that torch to promote the Otters club. Now that's the sort of thing they're looking for, is there anybody who's done exceptionally well? Have you got future Olympians that you think we could help support? What will happen is when they come in with the torch relay, there is a massive procession, and this will involve huge planning, huge process, including the BBC will be the main front runner on this. The BBC will be interviewing these torchbearers. They will be running alongside celebrities. It will be a huge thing that will be happening in our county. And I think it gives us a wonderful opportunity that even if somebody isn't selected as a torchbearer, all their supporters or the people or the clubs, everybody's there to actually say, this is about what we do. Okay, the other thing I would say is that, I think there's lots of information about what's going to be happening. Move on. It's just to say that the route, this is logistically huge. They will be going through every single town. They're looking for iconic landmarks. The routes are being mapped out right now. We've actually gone forward and given lots and lots of suggestions, lots of ideas, and we're waiting to hear. What I would say is that any of the towns or villages have been selected as part of the route, The town and parish councils will be contacted fairly soon to let them know confidentially that they're on that route. That will be known in September ahead of the formal announcement in November, because they will be asking any of those town councils to sign a confidentiality agreement and to say they're happy for the torch to actually come through their town. So we'll you know, basically all I would say is if that's going to happen, you'll start to find out very soon if you haven't heard already. They'll look at lots of different ways of the torch being carried. It may be that they will use things that are a little bit different, like whether it will be barges or not always necessarily just people running on foot. It will be different ways to actually showcase the communities. So it's about thinking up ideas on what we could do and what we could do along the route to bring it to life. Okay, I think just to give you an idea, they'll be covering about 100 miles a day. There will be about 110 torchbearers a day. So if we know that it's coming into Wiltshire for one day to get here and one day to get out, we already know that's over 200 torchbearers that will be people from our communities. Lots and lots of different things that we can do. There will be lunchtime stops. They're looking at doing that, really aligning themselves to things like schools, where they can get involved if there's school activities on that same day, whether there's a sports day, whether there's a big dance competition, whether there's something going on, that they can have a lunchtime stop that will be broadcast. It'll all be filmed, it'll all be part and parcel of what they're trying to do. They're going to cover the whole country over the 70 days in the lead up to the Olympics. So from the minute the torch comes here from Athens, they will then start the whole process of building up the excitement, the momentum, and showcasing all of the different communities and what's happening in this country. And that will include Wiltshire. So thank you for listening to me.